Hello everybody, this is Baka Zombie. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG Live video. Today's deck that we're going to be looking at is the deck that won the 2024 Worlds competition, Worlds tournament for Pokemon in Honolulu, Hawaii. And it was piloted by Fernando Cifuentes. This is an Iron Thorns EX deck, and it is like that's the descriptor. That's what it is. There is no other Pokemon. There's only Iron Thorns EX. This deck is interesting in that, especially if you've been around on this channel, it's a deck that's pretty easy to beat, but it's one of those decks that's easy to beat unless you're playing meta. It's a very anti-meta deck, but things that aren't super meta typically don't have a big problem with it. Like, because on this channel, we do another series where I do the rank lettering, and I'm using a Dragapult EX Lost Zone deck, and that deck just beats up this deck constantly. But that deck also isn't the most meta deck and gets beat up by a lot of meta decks. So it's an anti-meta deck that works really well against some things. And why is that? Well, if we take a look at Iron Thorns EX, we run 4 copies in there here. Again, that's the only Pokemon in this deck. There's no other supporting cast, no nothing. It's just 4 Iron Thorns, just boys being boys out here, you know? So, with the ability Initialization, as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, Pokemon with a rule box in play, both yours and your opponents have no abilities except for future Pokemon. Pokemon EX, Pokemon V, etc. have rule boxes. So, this shuts off abilities like Charizard's Infernal Rain. It shuts off Gardevoir's Psychic Embrace. It shuts off the Regidrago V-Star ability. I can't remember what it's called. It's the one that discards 7 cards and you get to choose a bunch of cards out of your discard pile. It shuts that down. Of the 3 of those I mentioned, Regidrago probably has the best matchup into this deck, because the other two can beat it, but it's harder for them because Charizard doesn't have his energy acceleration, nor does Gardevoir. So those are the 2 big ones that this one shuts down. There's some other decks that were doing well in Worlds, I think specifically because there are a lot of Iron Thorns EX. This also shuts down, it stops Lugia V-Star from using its ability to pull Pokemon out of the discard pile. It would shut off things like Chien-Pao EX's ability. Any EX is not a future. So there was also Miraidon decks kind of floating around at Worlds. And I think a lot of their success was attributed to the amount of Iron Thorns EX that were around because the Miraidon decks don't have their ability shut off by Iron Thorns. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good ability because it shuts down all the energy acceleration, all that for all those EX Pokemon. It also shuts down Radiant Pokemon's abilities, like Radiant Greninja. It's shutting down concealed cards there. It shuts down Radiant Alakazam's Painful Spoons. Those kind of things. The unfortunate drawback to Iron Thorns is its attack. Volt Cyclone only does 140 damage, so it does miss out on a lot of breakpoints. Like, that's a 3-hit KO on Charizard, that's a 3-hit KO on Gardevoir, 3-hit KO on Dragapult. It does 2-hit KO Regidrago, which is nice. But the Volt Cyclone does cost 3 energy, 1 electric, 2 colorless, and then the effect of Volt Cyclone is that you have to move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So you can get around the 3 energy attach by playing electric energy and the double booster energy, which does drop Volt Cyclone back to only 120, so you are missing KOs on Regidrago, but we do have a tool card in here that does help us kind of get around that drawback of the double booster energy, but then you're also dumping in energy back. So you're going to be doing a lot of switching with energies and with Iron Thorns back and forth to kind of keep the cycle of energy swapping back and forth. So it is important to have more than 1 Iron Thorns on the field at a time. And obviously, with only 4 Pokemon in the deck, it is hard sometimes to get your Iron Thorns out there, especially at the beginning of the match. A lot of mulligans happen with this deck, where you have to have a basic Pokemon to start the match. If you don't, you have to reshuffle and redraw. Your opponent gets to take an extra card every time you mulligan. there are times you can just give your opponent a ton of cards, and that is a real drawback to this deck as well. But aside from a lot of these drawbacks, it won Worlds, and a lot of other Iron Thorns decks placed very high as well. So let's take a look at what the supporting cast is for this deck, because again, it's not Pokemon, it's the trainer cards. So you see a lot of supporters in here. We have Arvins, we have Professor Researches, we have Judge, a lot of draw things, we have Boss's Orders to pull up Pokemon that are going to be able to be KO'd by Iron Thorns. We're running Colress's Tenacity. This is a new card from the Shrouded Fables set. Search your deck for a Stadium card and an Energy card, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this helps us to find the energies that our Iron Thorns need. And there is a fun little Stadium card in this deck as well that we'll get to in a moment. We have Iono. We have Penny, which put one of your basic Pokemon, all attached cards, into your hand. This is a way to just refresh one of our Iron Thorns that is low at health. Just bring it all back in our hand, slap her back down, full health, ready to rumble. We also run Giovanni's Charisma. Put an energy attached to one of your opponent's active Pokemon into their hand. If you do, attach an energy card from your hand to your Pokemon. So this is a form of energy acceleration. We could get 2 energies attached to an Iron Thorns in one turn. And also, it helps to decelerate our opponent's energy attachments, because they could just straight up attach that energy back to a Pokemon in the next turn, but that means they can't do whatever attaching they were planning to do in the following turn, especially if we play this correctly. So we got a Giovanni's Charisma in here. We also run 4 copies of Crushing Hammer. Flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy from one of your opponent's Pokemon. So this is a way to, once again, draw our opponent backwards to give us extra time to do that extra damage we need to be able to win the game. We also have 4 Pokemon Catcher. Again, another coin flip, but we get to drag up Pokemon that are going to be easily KO'd or slow our opponent down. We have the Techno Radar. You can use this card only if you discard another card from your hand. Search your deck for 2 future Pokemon, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck afterward. This is such an easy way to get Iron Thorns. There's no need to run any Nest Balls, no need to run any Ultra Balls. You just run the Techno Radars to find those Iron Thorns. We also only run 2 because there is only 4 Iron Thorns in here. So if you're starting off with an Iron Thorns, you're good, and then you can just kind of find your other one. We do have Canceling Colognes. This is a way to shut off abilities, because until the end of your turn, your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities. So this is going to be for things like Mimikyu, or other Pokemon that can stop our Iron Thorns from attacking. We have 1 copy of Prime Catcher as our A-Spec. We have some energy assistance with the Earthen Vessel and Energy Loto. With the Energy Loto, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal an energy card you find there and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Another form of energy acceleration. We have Lost Zone, which will help us get rid of tools or stadiums that might be in our way. We have the Future Booster Energy Capsule. This is going to be important for us. The future Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost, and the attacks it uses do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. This is how you get around the nerf from the double booster energy, and it's also an easy way to cycle your Iron Thorns out of the active spot if you need to get them out of there for whatever reason. There's not enough energy attached to them, they're about to get KO'd, all of that fun stuff. We also have the Technical Machine Turbo Energize. For a single colorless energy, you can use your attack to instead do Turbo Energize. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon any way you like, and then shuffle your deck. This is going to be early game setup. You can set up an Iron Thorns that's hanging out on the bench. 2 electric energies attached to that. Cool. Good to go. Our stadium that we play in this deck is the Lost City. Interesting card to be in this deck, but it is a way to get rid of other stadium cards that might hinder us. Things like what's it called? Temple of Sinnoh, the new neutralizing stadium, whatever the new A-Spec stadium is. But with this stadium, whenever a Pokemon, either yours or your opponent's, is knocked out, put that Pokemon in the Lost Zone instead of a discard pile. This is a good way to get rid of things that are a big hindrance to us. Like I was talking about before, if they were playing Mimikyu, we can use Canceling Cologne to turn off their ability, so we're able to attack them, because normally Mimikyu stops EXs from attacking them. And our ability doesn't shut off that ability because the Mimikyu is not an EX. But we can play Canceling Cologne, shut off that ability, put down Lost Zone, KO that Mimikyu, and now they can't get that Mimikyu back to stall us later in the game. Those are all of our trainer cards kind of skimmed over. We also run 7 electric energy, or lightning energy, I think it is. Yes, electric type lightning energy. And then 4 double turbo energies. And that is the deck. Pretty simplistic. A lot of trainer cards are relying to slow our opponent down / speed us up at the same time, which is what the trainer cards are for. But this deck heavily relies on them because there is only the 4 Iron Thorns, and it needs some help getting over the finish line there. But that is the deck that Fernando Cifuentes ran, and now we are going to test it out ourselves here on Pokemon TCG Live and see if we can net some wins with it. Alright, looks like my opponent is going to do the coin toss here. If you guys want to try the deck out for yourself, the deck list will be in the description below. But also, actually, I'm going to look first to see if Fernando has posted anywhere, and I'll have a link to that because they deserve the traffic, the social internet traffic, because they brought this deck to first. So if he's posted anywhere, I will have that link. If not, I will just put the deck list in the description, or you can find it many places online. I found this list on limitlesstcg.com. Very easy to find. It's right there on the homepage, along with a lot of other top played decks. Apparently our opponent's just not going to show up. With this deck, first or second, I think you can kind of go either or here. You do have the Turbo Energize if you do go second. I don't know that there's a way to attack first. Maybe with Giovanni's Charisma you can. Hello? Anybody home? Love doing an intro and then not show up. We're leaving it in, gang. That was all the words I wanted to say. They were playing Dusknoir. Okay, that would have been interesting to see. All right, let's get a real game. All right, we always choose tails. We always lose. Let's see if what happens here. We do get heads, so we don't have to choose, which is good because I don't know. I honestly don't know if going first or second is better. This might be a deck where you just kind of suss it out. Like if you know what your opponent's deck is, I think is better because then you can choose based off of that. Because I think this deck could go either way. Let's see how many times we mulligan. Wow, first draw. That's kind of crazy. We do start with an Iron Thorns EX. Perfect for us that we didn't have to mulligan a bunch of times. So we get the Iron Thorns. My opponent is playing a Frigibax team. Now, a lot of these Frigibax decks have started attacking in Iron Hands. Which could be bad. They're going to set up the Pokestop. They're going to get a pretty good draw off of that, honestly. Well, see if this is a Iron Hands version of this deck or not. There's also a Kingdra deck running around, which I do want to do a video on a Kingdra deck because I really like Kingdra. But you typically don't run a bunch of Frigibacks in it. Alright, so they're just going to get a normal energy attached to the Frigibacks. Is there a way... I want to see if there is a way to get this to happen this turn. If I Pokégear here, I'm searching for the Giovanni's Charisma. Didn't get it, unfortunate. Energy attach. We need an Energy Loto is what we need. Energy Gelato. Got him. I'm gonna Crushing Hammer. We get the tails, unfortunately. God, I don't know why I'm so gung-ho and just getting the KO right away here. We get 2 Crushing Hammers off the Pokestop. Let's flip them. We get ahead, so we're going to knock off the Frigibax's that. Do I do it? I'm going to throw down the Lost Zone first and foremost. Do I Professor's Research here? I could just Judge. Or could Professor Research. Let's go for it. You know what? This is the first game with this deck. Let's get wild. We do get a Techno Radar and another Iron Thorns, so I can throw down this Iron Thorns. We don't get an Energy Loto, which is what I really needed here. And a double colorless. Like, if we got the double turbo. If we got the double turbo and an Energy Loto and hit the Energy Loto on electric energy, we could have attacked this turn. But unfortunately, we're just going to have to basic energy attach here. And end the turn. So we honestly did waste a lot of resources here, but I was trying to be a little cheeky, see if we could get the turn 1 win, the turn 1 KO. They are going to evolve into Baxcalibur. Probably should have played Judge. In all honesty, we knew they had the rare candy in the hand, and Judge probably would have been the most useful because now they're going to have an Irida. They can grab like a Switch and a Champao, power up that Champao. Oh, they're going to grab Radiant Greninja and a Buddy Buddy. Do they have a Champao in hand, or are they just going to fish for one with Radiant Greninja? Let me see the Buddy Buddy. It is a Kingdra deck. It is a Kingdra deck. So, unless they tech in the Champao here, which I tech in Champao into my Kingdra decks, I don't think a lot of Kingdras do, though. So I don't think they'll be able to attack this turn, which is nice. And they're just going to pass. No energy attach. So maybe the Judge was... not playing Judge wasn't a bad thing. I'm going to leave the Baxcalibur up here because I think they don't really have a way to... get it out of the active spot. I'm going to grab an Energy Loto. Play Energy Loto. We get an Electric Energy. I probably should have grabbed the Turbo Energize instead of the Future Booster Energy Capsule. I almost want a Techno Radar and drop the Lost Vacuum. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, all of our Iron Thorns are prized. Not awesome, but, I mean, we'll live. Yeah, not having our double colorless or a good way to be able to attack that turn. Like, we went all out to try to attack turn 1. We didn't get it, and then we didn't get to attack turn 2. I should have grabbed the Energy Turbo Energize. Okay, they get a Kingdra. It's not the Kingdra EX, though. It's the little Kingdra, which is a fun thing. Because once... Oh, come here, baby. Once during your turn, you may either... may have either player shuffle their hand into... Oh, I'm reading that awkwardly. They're going to do it now. So they can have either... player shuffle their hand into their deck and then draw 4 cards. And they chose to do themselves because they're having a little bit of a hard time getting off. They're going to Colress's Tenacity so they can get a Pokestop and a Water Energy. That way they can get rid of my Lost City so I can't knock things into the Lost Zone so they can't get them back. Then they're going to Super Cold. How many are you going to attach? Are you going to attack with your Baxcalibur here? You are. Interessante. They're going to Pokestop and knock out a Baxcalibur and a Horsey, which isn't a big deal for them right now. They're looking for a Kingdra EX. So they actually can't use Greninja, Radiant Greninja here, but their Kingdra will be just fine. Another one of those will KO me, but I do get the energy. And I can actually KO here because of the Future Booster Energy, and I don't have a double colorless on there. So that's kind of nice. So what I can do here... Actually, let's spin the Pokestop. Why not? We have a ton of trainers in here. Why not try for it? Well, okay, well, we lose double colorless and a Judge. So, bad. But we can KO this Baxcalibur here. And then they lose their energy acceleration. The thing is, if they get a Kingdra EX here, it's just a single water energy to use its first attack, and they can get Baxcalibur back out of the discard pile. But then I'm going to boss orders up and KO it, right? They have to get a Kingdra EX here, and they don't have a way... Well, they can use their Kingdra's ability. That's the only thing they can do to try and look for it. because the Radiant Greninja's ability is useless. They do have Lumineon. Can't use its ability. Sorry, Iron Thorns. Yep, the thumbs down emote. They didn't know. They didn't think about the Iron Thorns. In all honesty, I do it all the time too. I keep putting Pheasantipity EX down against Iron Thorns, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. In a video I do that and get really mad. I'm like, why can't I use Pheasantipity? Iron Thorns. They're gonna Ultra Ball away so they're gonna get their Kingdra EX here. They're gonna use their King's Orders, but I'm just gonna keep bringing up the Baxcalibur and KOing it. They will be able to get a Hydro Pump off. They will be able to do that. 2 Water Energies. I'm going to attach one to Kingdra. Then Seething Currents with their other Kingdra to shuffle their hand back into their deck. It would be super nice to be able to use Penny next turn. Actually, hold on. Oh, no, I won't live. I won't live. Sorry. I was thinking I was going to be able to live because they only do 100, but I only have 100 left. And they do grab 2 Baxcalibur, so that actually sucks. Play I would love to pick up my Iron Thorns so it doesn't get KO'd. But play the Earthen Vessel. Drop the Pokemon Catcher to grab 2 Electric Energies. We only have 1 left in the deck. We don't have a way to get electric. Like, having to manually attach only electric energies this whole time has really sucked. So we've only seen 1 double colorless, and it got discarded by the Pokestop. I don't want to Pokestop again because I don't want to lose more double colorless, right? I mean, give me your Baxcalibur. The issue is I can't KO this Baxcalibur this turn. But it's also stuck here, right? So I can Volt Cyclone. Oh, wait, never mind. I do have the... I forgot. I had the tool attached to my Iron Thorns. Okay, can we grab another Iron Thorns, please? Okay, we get our other Iron Thorns, so we don't just lose after this. Oh, and Lumineon is going to become the active. Interesting. I can't KO Lumineon, but also they need to waste energies or switch to get it out of the active. They're going to use the Superior Energy Retrieval to get... They do have 4 in there. Baxcalibur is going to be able to attach to get the withdraw... Oh, you're attacking with Lumineon. Oh, okay, that's good. That's a good move actually, because it does enough to KO the Iron Thorns, and then it shuffles everything that Lumineon back in the deck, so it's no longer a liability. Because Lumineon is actually weak to Iron Thorns. So is Kingdra, right? Yeah, it is. But Iron Thorns still doesn't win a KO. Oh, this does have the Palkia in it. This is the Palkia. I can KO that Palkia. They're gonna Kingdra me, which is actually fine. And we get the double turbo. Well, it's less fine because we had an Iron Thorns in our hand, and we kind of need that Iron Thorns, right? So they're gonna KO my Iron Thorns. This is tricky. Because I kind of need... Can I just draw the Iron Thorns? That'd be... So I can KO this Palkia, and I would really like to do that because then I get 2 prizes. Let's throw the Catcher, see if we hit it. Hit the heads. Yes! We needed that. We needed that, because now we can play a different supporter. Come here. Come here, come here. Let me play Pokégear, see what supporter we got off it. We do get a Professor's Research. I think I need to play Arven, though, to ensure that we get the Iron Thorns. Okay, good. I was going to say, we better have a Techno Radar in here. Yeah, then we can just grab the Future Booster. Play the Techno Radar. I'm going to discard Professor's Research because I think the boss's orders is going to be more useful for us. Then we can grab the Iron Thorns. Play the Iron Thorns. We don't need this Future Booster Energy Capsule right now. Okay, there's 2 Electric Energies in the discard. There's 2 on the Iron Thorns here. So there's 3 more hanging around. I've been hanging around. Let's, Volt Cyclone. Okay, this Origin Form Palkia. We're going to drop back the double turbo. And then get 2 prize cards. To give us Iron Thorns and Lost City. $160. But this Kingdra can't KO me here. Kingdra needs 5 energies to KO me. If it can't KO me and I can get an Electric Energy, I could win this next turn. Because if I get an Electric Energy, that means I'll be doing the flat 140, but then it's super effective to 280. But if I attach the Future Booster Energy Capsules, doing 160, and that's 320. They're going to counter catcher my other Iron Thorns. That's fine. They're going to see the Incurrent's their own hand. Oh, my hand. Okay, I don't mind that. I do get a double turbo, which isn't my favorite thing. Rather the electric. Oh, they only need 4. Oh, it's 50 plus, not 50 times. Duh. So they only need 4. They're going to get that KO. But here's the thing. We need the Future Booster Energy. And we need the Electric Energy. So we're able to discard a Water Energy, which is nice. I don't know that it'll be helpful, but it is something that happened. I'm going to Pokégear, see what kind of support we can get. We can get Professor's Research. Done and done. Okay. Yeah, because if we attach the double turbo, we just can't win. And they're going to be able to KO us, like, more than likely next turn, right? So, what we do, I'm going to Professor Research first. Electric Energy. We won. We just did it. We pulled it off. The Electric Energy, Future Booster Energy. This should be 320 damage, which is enough to KO Kingdra EX for the last 2 prize cards. Let's go! Woo! Right down to the wire. It's a thrill. It's a thrill. This deck's a thrill. Giovanni's Charisma and Electric Energy were our last 2 prize cards. The Professor's Research did it for us. I thought we were going to have to go fishing. I mean, the thing is that the Pokestop wouldn't have helped us at all. So, other than getting like an Energy Loto, but it could have also screwed us over by discarding energy. So, we pick up the first win. I really like Kingdra. We're going to be doing that deck in the future. I have a Kingdra deck. I just have to tinker with it a little bit more. But yeah, let's get another match. Opponent is choosing the coin flip. They had a very interesting combination of deck box and deck sleeves. So, and coin. I'm interested to see what this deck is. Because none of those give it away. So Riolu's sleeves with a Calyrex deck box. What did we go first or second in the first game? We went second. Let's try going first. Let's try going first this time. It'll stop me from trying to make the big swing like I did last time. That might have honestly slowed us down. Okay, we're gonna mulligan. That makes sense, actually. So let's shuffle again. We're gonna mulligan only twice, which is, again, not bad for this deck. Chuck down the Iron Thorns. They're gonna take both, of course. Why wouldn't you? Mew and Iron Crown. So we shut off Iron Crown, we shut off Mew. Honestly, we take those. Gosh, sucks. We didn't get any energy. No energies for us. I guess we just end the turn. My opponent can't do anything. They only have supporting EXs on the field, and they can't support, so... So what is there to do, really? Actually, wait, no, the Iron Crown still gets the ability because it's a Futuremon, right? So Kobold Command is still in play. But they don't get the restart for the Mew, which they can't do right now anyway. They have 8 cards in their hand. But what is it that they do here? They're seeing electric energy attached to the Mew. Mew's going to get enough energy before me. Unless we get the double turbo. Attach the double turbo. Let's Crushing Hammer for fun. Get the tails, so nothing off of that. Can Arven for the Energy Loto? I can Judge. I already attached for this turn, so I might... Let's go for Arven. Arven. The Energy Loto. The Future Booster. Get it. Okay. That's kind of oh, it goes to your hand. I kept thinking Energy Loto attaches to the Pokemon, so yeah, okay, we should have grabbed the Turbo. We should have grabbed the Future Techno Radar or whatever. They still shouldn't be able, they won't be able to KO us this next turn, so we should be fine. Let's just end the turn here. Next turn we can attack. So there's that. And I will Arven for the Techno Radar instead of hoping for the best, you know. Okay, they're just going to manually attach to the Mew for this turn, so Mew still can't attack until next turn. What is this deck? Why? They haven't played any cards but energies and Pokemon. What's going on over there? So we can attach Future Booster Energy. We can Arven. We can grab the Techno Radar and another Future Booster Energy Capsule. We can Techno Radar to drop a Pokégear. Grab an Iron Thorns. Apparently, all of our Iron Thorns are prized again. This is 2 games in a row we've had 2 Iron Thorns prized. It's kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's crazy. I'm going to attach this just in case they Iono me for some reason or another. And then let's just put the damage down on the Mew with the Volt Cyclone. And then we will drop the double turbo to the Iron Thorns in the back. I'm genuinely confused as to what my opponent's deck is, that they haven't gotten anything other than the Mew-EX and the Iron Crown. They finally play a supporter. Erica's Invitation, which, let me refresh myself on this card. Your opponent reveals their hand. You put a basic Pokemon you find there on your opponent's bench. I don't have any, man. What do you get if that goes off? If you put a Pokemon on the bench this way, switch that Pokemon to the active spot. I mean, they would just be putting in another Iron Thorns. So they finally get all the attaches for Mew to use genome hacking to use my own attack against me, which is going to push an energy back, but that's fine because I KO your Mew anyway. I don't know what's going on. We get another Pokégear. I mean, play it. Let's find out what we got hanging out here. Okay. Actually, hold on. Yeah, no, this is good. Let's grab the Colress Tenacity. Well, actually, I was going to do this turn. I'll play Penny. Pick up this Iron Thorns in the active, so now it has no damage on it. I can make this one active, attach an electric energy from the other Iron Thorns, place that Iron Thorns down, place it onto my booster energy, and then I can Volt Cyclone to KO this Mew. And then we can drop our double colors back to this Iron Thorns. See the synergy? See the synergy? Let's see what we get off of this. Colress Tenacity and another Iron Thorns. So this next turn I can play down that Iron Thorns. I don't really need to play it down, right? We have 2 healthy Iron Thorns hanging out. I don't really need a third to gum up the works. Because it could be drawn into the active spot and not having energy or anything on it. Oh, they're going to play Erica's Invitation to put it down my Iron Thorns anyway, so it is in the active spot now. So I probably don't play Colress's Tenacity this next turn, right? I'm going to Pokégear to try and get an Arven, so I can get my future booster energy capsule to get that Iron Thorns a free retreat cost. Or, I think there's only 1 Penny in this deck, though, so I couldn't get another Penny. Judge, Iono, or Professor's Research. What's in my hand? Judge, Colress's Tenacity, and a Pokemon Catcher. Honestly, Professor's Research is our best chance to get in a future booster energy here. We don't get it. But we do get an energy, which we can attach to this Iron Thorns. The Lost City doesn't really help us here. So let's end the turn. So if we have to, we will slowly build this Iron Thorns up. But I'm hoping I will be able to find a future booster energy. We're going to see the Miraidon finally show up, which is kind of the card you want to lead with this deck. You see they attach, and then they're going to be able to swap out the Iron Crown, bring in the Miraidon, use its peak acceleration, which unfortunately is only boosting up their Iron Crown. What is Iron Crown's attack? I never see it attack. This attack does 50 damage to your opponent's Pokemon. Okay. I'm fine if that's what you want to peak accelerate to, man. 60 damage to my Iron Thorns in the active. And then they are going to attach some energy to the Iron Crown on the bench. On the bench. Canceling Cologne doesn't really help us here. I could attach an energy this turn, but I really need, like, I need the option of either the double colorless energy coming up or the future booster energy. Yeah. Calm down. I'll check down the last one. Give myself some extra time. Judge is the least helpful for my opponent, and it helps me still be able to draw these. So let's play Judge. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because the Iron Crown cannot KO. I can't get KO this next turn, right? Yeah, there's no way for them to KO me this next turn. Unless they have the electric generator, is that what it's called? And they hit it. Then they'll be able to. But then I just can bring up this Iron Thorns, right? Okay, they get the Iron Hands. It's going to be big for them. And they get a Nest Ball now. Where'd they get the Nest Ball from? Has that just been hanging out in their hand for no... Why didn't you play that last turn? You only drew 1 card this turn. Why didn't you play that last turn? Or the Iron Hands. It was either the Iron Hands was in your hand or the Nest Ball. They didn't both get drawn this turn. So, which was it? And why didn't you play it last turn to use peak acceleration with? Come on, my guy. Another Iron Hands. Okay, they're building up their bench. There's the electric generator. Do they hit it? Okay, they attach to the bench anyway, so... They're just going to have an Iron Hands powered up. Another electric generator. Okay, they have an Iron Hands powered up. Can you get that Miraidon out of the active, though? Techno Radar. I mean, actually, I think they can get the triple prize this turn. And grab 2 more Iron Crowns. Play an Iron Crown. And they're just going to peak accelerate. It's fine. It's fine by me, buddy boy. We'll be tied for prize cards this next turn. I do get the Arven, actually. Hold on. Because how much does Iron Crowns boost by? By 20. So you have 60 being added to 120. So that's not enough to KO a full health Iron Thorns. Okay, before we attach for the turn, play Arven first, to make sure we actually have what I need. And we do. Future booster. And then... grab a Crushing Hammer. Oh, I thought I had Canceling Cologne in my head. I was going to play Canceling Cologne to turn off all of these boosts. I mean, it's not enough KO still, so it's not a huge deal. But I will retreat into this Iron Thorns. Attach for the turn. See if I can hit a Crushing Hammer, because that's a lot of energy on the board. They might not be able to get anything back, but I hit a Tails. That's fine. We go for the Volt Cyclone, which will KO you. I can drop this back. Get a Lost City. The problem will be that a lot of my Iron Thorns are going to have a ton of damage on them, right? Their Iron Hands are going to become active. It shouldn't be able to KO me. They do have another Iron Crown, so that'll be 80 additional damage, which brings you to 200. Even if you attach the Turbo Future Energy Booster, it only brings you to 220. So you won't be able to KO this Iron Thorns, and I can just switch it out of the active spot for a healthy Iron Thorns. But then, again, I have 2 Iron Thorns hanging out on the bench that have no health. And actually, hold on. Ooh, that could be bad. Well, no, because they still can't KO this one with that attack. They'd be able to KO one of them, but not both of them. Because, right, that shouldn't power this, right? Because that's the effect of the attack. That's not... Maybe it does. I would love to get a Canceling Cologne here at some point. To turn off the Iron Crowns for a turn. Switch card and a Future Booster Energy. This could get scary for us really quick. Here's the Arm Press. Oh, the Arm Press is enough to KO, though. I was thinking of just the Amp You very much. So they can get 2 prize cards. It's actually kind of big for him here. Because they can just KO me again next turn. I honestly should have went into the... Well, no, if I went into this one, they would have done the Amp You very much and gotten 3 prize cards. That might have been worse. How much... Your retreat cost is pretty big. I thought of Prime Catching up a Iron Crown, but I think that doesn't help. I'm going to get rid of this thing's Future Booster, because I think that stops it from KOing me next turn. No, it still KOs me, I think. We might lose this. It's such a fumble if we lose this. My opponent had wasted so much time. Yeah, because they have this Iron Hands built up too, and they're gonna be able to KO my Iron Thorns here. I kind of really needed the Canceling Cologne, because they would have stopped their Iron Hands from KOing this Iron Thorns this turn. Kind of sucks. Play the Pokégear. They get an Iono. Yeah, I don't know how we win this. The Heavy Baton. I forget what that does. If the Pokemon the scars attached has no retreat, retreat cost of exactly 4 is in the active spot and knocked out by damage. You move 3 basic energy cards with Pokemon better anyway. Like, it's something. I don't think it affects this game at all, because I think they just kind of have it, unfortunately. Yeah, we kind of had a slow energy attached this game, so they were able to survive long enough to be able to get all of this out, even though they had such a bad start as well. They're gonna Lost Vacuum to get rid of one of my energy booster things, or the Lost City. I mean, interesting. But yeah, you can see as soon as a deck like has cards where their abilities aren't getting shut off, Iron Thorns really doesn't stand up to it. So that's why we saw a lot of future decks. Yeah, they had enough to kill me. A lot of future decks come through in Worlds because they weren't getting shut off by Iron Thorns, which was shutting off all the other decks. So all the other decks were losing, and the future decks were. That's not what we needed. Yeah. Yeah, because again, 2 Iron Thorns being prized 2 games in a row is kind of nutty. Oh, they're not in the. They're all in the lost zone. The other 2 are in the lost zone because of my own card. I mean, I can't get them back anyway. There's no way to get them back in this deck, which I think is kind of wild. But I think they have a switch card in their hand. I'm surprised this deck doesn't run switch card. I know you get the free retreat with the energy booster thing, but it's just another way to heal a little bit off your Pokemon and do switches, so. I don't know, though. I didn't win Worlds. This deck did. We're going to see the energy attached to the Iron Crown. What can I do here? I would need so many Crushing Hammers to work. Do I just not attack this turn? How many Crushing Hammers have been played? 2. Oh, it takes it off the active. I'm trying to think. Because if I could somehow get 2 Crushing Hammers, not hit heads on both of them, and knock them both off of the Iron Thorns on the bench here, and they somehow never get the Iron Crown out of the active spot, they're going to attach the Iron Crown again. So they need a second energy on the Iron Crown to be able to retreat. So if I can Crushing Hammer off both these, it can't attack. And then... But, like, no matter what. As soon as I knock something out, that the other Iron Hands comes in and KOs me. If there's a way for me to look in the deck. Crisis Punch. Professor's Research. I mean, that just discards itself unless you get a way to get out of the active, which you probably do off of this. Yep, switch card. There's a game. We are going to look through the deck to see if I had any other way to get out of this situation. I don't think I did, though, unfortunately. Yeah, like I said, as soon as your opponent has a deck where you're not shutting off the abilities, this deck just kind of falls apart. Because that's what it's supposed to do, is shut off the abilities that your opponent is relying on. As soon as they can get around that. So we only shut off Restart, and that really didn't matter at that point, right? Let me collect this first. Yeah. Tier unlock, blah, blah, blah. Collect these, get some cool dark energies. Then let's go to the deck quick. Deck list. What did we have? Because we needed ways to shut off the Iron Thorns from being able to attack. So Giovanni's Charisma would have only, like, we gotta remember it's only the active. So if I would have held on to that. But the thing is, I would have had to either hit a Pokemon Catcher or Boss's Orders. And if I had Boss's Orders, I couldn't Giovanni's Charisma in the same turn, right? So I'd have to hit the 2 Crushing Hammers that were somewhere. It might have not even been in my deck. That could have been the prizes. And that's it. We couldn't have won at that point. Yep. So that's unfortunate that we didn't win both of them. But, again, like I said, it kind of shows you that this deck does fall apart as soon as it's not shutting off your opponent's key abilities. Because if they're able to just play the deck how they want, they can just kind of bop on you. So, thank you guys so much for joining us for this video. Be sure to go check out Fernando. I'll put whatever socials he has in the description. If not, where to find his deck list from him. At least his socials will be there. Because he won Worlds, so he deserves the recognition. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. If there's any decks you want to see in the future, I have a bunch of ideas rattling around, but if there's any decks you guys want to see in the future, let me know in the comment section below. And what do you think of Iron Thorns? Do you think it's going to have a longevity, or is it going to fall to the wayside after this? Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Have a good night, everybody.